Tom and Eric. Tom Kenny, our Penguin. Eric Bauza, our Two-Face. Sit down for 5 minutes.
Yeah. All right.
Two-Face.
Sorry, I'm going to ask again, just names and positions on the production for the transcriber piece.
Great. Eric Bauza, voice of Two-Face.
Tom Kenny, Penguin, and position usually missionary, but sometimes I'll get a little freaky sometimes.
You were concerned with the bold joke on the red carpet.
Oh my God.
Tell us about research that you may have done once you got the role of these characters, because they're so beloved, but you would want to give them your own spin.
Absolutely true.
Always a look back.
Is this your first time doing Two-Face?
This is definitely my first time voicing a Two-Face. And
That's awesome.
yeah, for sure. And if it's my last time to be a part of this version, I'll take it.
A great thing to go
and
out
Eric is
on.
the least Two-Face guy in show business. So it's kind of a stretch for him. He's very sincere.
I'm Canadian. I'm like half face. Barely. Like the way the currency works, Canadian to U.S. conversion, half face. But,
You are awesome.
Oh, you guys are awesome. Yeah, looking back, definitely one of the most prominent Two-Faces in animated history for sure would have to be the one from Batman animated series, voiced by Richard Mall, who we all know as Bull Shannon from Night Court. And what a performance he did. So what a tough act to follow.
Richard Mall.
Yeah, I dug that one.
I love his brother Darth.
Darth Maul. Yeah.
And tell us about you for Penguin.
Yeah, I had done Penguin before in other iterations of Batman, but I was talking to Tony the Joker about this, and I'm sure you can identify with this. Is that like when you're kind of inheriting kind of an iconic character that perhaps many others have done before you and probably will do after you. You sort of you have to kind of half embrace what's come before, and then you have to like half discard it all, or you'll go crazy if you think too much about it.
Yep.
So it's funny when I first auditioned for the Penguin, which was in a series called The Batman, about kind of Batman Year One, the Batman it was called.
Oh, you did that guy? Oh.
I was Penguin on that series.
Fantastic.
And it was one of those auditions where they said, first of all, I said, what are you looking for? And they said, well, we know what we're not looking for.
That can be helpful.
They said anything that's like at all like Burgess Meredith on the 60s Adam West TV show. We don't want anything like that.
Okay.
And I was like, oh. And then when I was doing the audition, I started thinking, why? His Penguin is the greatest.
Yeah.
It's one of the greatest performances ever. When you watch those Adam West TV shows, he's so invested in his performance is so cool. Steal from the best, So on my third take
That's
of the
stealing.
audition,
You're
I did
being
an
inspired by.
Yeah, so we always do, usually an A, B, and a C take. Throw them 3 different takes, try to switch up. I did pretty full on Burgess Meredith, and they were like, this is really interesting.
Oh, in the irony.
Yeah, and of course I didn't say, hey, I'm doing what you told me not to do. I was just like, oh, thanks, yeah. It is kind of interesting, isn't it?
Here's the thing, though, about Mr. Tom Kenny is that there are other voiceover artists that are hired definitely to do a spot-on impression, but I feel like the majority of Tom's characters, as an outsider listening in, you have like the iconic vocal pipes. You know what I mean?
Thanks. Well, I also suck at impressions.
No. It's like, if you can do impressions, that's great, but I think the overall goal for a voiceover performer is to make the voice that other people are going to imitate down the road. And when I hear your Penguin, I don't hear, obviously as a fan, Burgess Meredith for sure, but I will only hear you. I was like, that's Tom Kenny's Penguin.
Well, this one in particular is a little more of an extreme version of the Penguin, a little more postmodern, and same with Two-Face.
Yeah, I think to match how extreme the visuals are, we had to go.
You kind of have to.
Yeah, like there could have been an opportunity where it's like there's a Harvey Dent side to Two-Face, but they just went full on monster. Just make him
full on. Yeah,
just
like
make him
Phantom of the Opera. He's a guy scarred, twisted guy.
Yeah, make him as gruesome as possible.
That's true. Like the whole bipolar, double personality thing didn't really play into this tape.
Yeah.
Maybe because they didn't have time. They just had so many villains. It's like, let's get to the fighting. Let's get to the giant samurai robots.
Monkey bat.
And the giant monkey bat. The gigantic monkey bat.
Spoilers!
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I'm a little... Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm a little sad that both Penguin and Two-Face didn't get as much screen time as I wanted. Were you both in the studio at the same time recording lines, or was it all separate?
Mostly separate.
Oh, okay.
Especially
Yeah,
for something.
because of the way that this one worked, where it was already done in Japanese language. We're kind of just watching the existing animation, trying to fit that English translation into the lip flap that you're looking at on a screen. It's kind of it's a little less freewheeling and painstaking
not too
than we
much
usually
room
get.
for ad-libbing.
Yeah, it's definitely Rubik's Cube, but when we do different stuff like Uncle Grandpa or other stuff that Eric and I have worked on together, where you're doing the voices first and then they animate to that, then it's more likely that you'll be in the same room and playing off each other and stuff. But with something with something like this, it was kind of like, here's your puzzle piece, and here's where you got to fit it.
If there's anything to go off of the Japanese performance,
Those performances were great.
Yeah, it may not be a language that we understand, but you could still hear the tonal inflections and emotions that you could kind of use in your performance.
Yeah, you want to match. Sometimes you want to match it, and just go, wow, that was really. I didn't understand the language, but I knew what that guy was saying. And
he definitely stubbed his toe.
Yeah, they established the footprint, and then you just gotta make your shoe fit in it.
All right, anime fans, comic book fans, which ones are better?
Don't ask that.
Don't start this war.
Wow. Is this like East Coast, West Coast rappers? Are people going to get shot over this?
No. Well, you're already being shot.
Are there Suge Knights of anime that are going to run over somebody in their
Come
SUV?
out of the woodwork.
Mike's got to take one, and then we'll let you out loose on the convention floor and see who survives.
Is this being fed live? I don't know.
Live stream.
I gotta say, anime fans are so passionate. They are so passionate.
The cosplay is insane.
Of the craft.
Yeah, those people are weird.
For the record,
That wasn't one of the actresses.
But I may say, modern day anime is more current than comic.
Yeah, I gotta say, I don't. It's funny. I don't really know the anime world that much. My kids know it. My anime as a kid was pretty much limited to Astro Boy and Kimba the White Lion. Speed Racer. That's what was your local station was showing.
But still, that's really
It's
cool.
awesome stuff. But I've always been more of a comic book guy, and so comic books are kind of more my world than anime.
So you got one of each.
My kids would say the opposite. Now that being said, I have a 14-year-old girl, so I'm very conversant with Sailor Moon. I could sing the whole theme song right here. Can I? No, I'm kidding. No, stop! Ooh, Sailor Moon.
Wow.
You should use that as your pitch for the Sailor Moon. They need to do voiceover work.
Yes,
for that.
exactly. Well, SpongeBob lives under the sea. He knows a little bit about sailors.
That's so funny.
One of the greatest cosplays I've ever seen, I have it on my phone somewhere, was a person in amazing costume doing Popeye the Sailor Moon.
What?
That's epic.
Full-on ugly Popeye face with the Sailor Moon outfit. Greatest ever. If I ever see that person, if you're out there, you're a genius.
We'll do a Google search.
Yeah, Google search.
I
That's
wonder
all
what
the time we have, but thank you so much. You guys are fantastic.
Thanks, that was so fun.
That was awesome.
Thank you. Have a wonderful con.
Yeah. Oh man.
So did you voice both faces?
Oh, we got one more?
I'm just curious.
You got what?
I certainly did. Well,
Yeah.
not a lot of screen time for him.
I love it that you wear fishnets on your arms.
Thanks.
That's wow. I love it.
Well, I have a tendency to carry
had
lots of breast stuff, and this helps with
Always
the
an
bruising.
artist.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Have a good day.
Preacher of the choir.
Right?
As a typical,
Not in the world.
as an almost albino. As a near albino myself. We bruise easy, right? Your weird stuff. You're like,
What are you doing?
No drawing. What the hell's wrong with you? Is he paying you?
he's actually got
There's
skills.
money in it.
Oh,
He
He comes at it
does.
from the animation end.
is that why he's wearing Daffy on his shirt? Is that
Yes.
wow?
No, he's an animation artist as well.
Oh my god.
Eric.
That
Wow.
came first for him.
This is amazing. This is a new revelation. Thank you so much.
Artist.
Isn't it Daffy?
I'm so jelly now.
Wow. But can you top this?
I'll try, but I don't think so.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Cool.